Hi, I'm Patricia Myers. I'm with the Cannabis Legal Group here in Royal Oak, Michigan. And today's topic is municipal applications. You have your state application, you go through all the trouble and the work to do that, and then you have your municipal application. And one of the most important things to do here is to be aware for the location that you've chosen, what are the requirements for your municipal application. And then after you proceed and go through the process, if in fact you go through a period where you've been denied, what do you do then? Cannabis is relatively new, comparatively speaking, even among the states where they have legalized it. So the rules are pretty much being made up as we go along, and that's true both at the state level and at the local level. However, at the local level, even more so. And there isn't consistency there as well. You can go from one location to another and the rules change drastically. So you really have to know what you're getting into, what's expected of you before you turn your application in. And that is an area that really is a turnkey operation where you know what they expect, you deliver it so that you give them your best effort, because what you get back is you get the locality determining whether or not your application will be approved for a license. So when the untoward happens and you're in a situation where you've received a license denial, at that point, you have to take a look at your situation and find out what direction you want to go in. You can go to another municipality, another location, and you can start the process all over again. Not the state process, just the local. Again, doing a local application takes time and money, so it is a costly process. And so that's why I go way back to the beginning and suggest that the location you initially choose be very aware and schooled in what is required in order to win a license in that locale. When your license is denied, it doesn't mean at the outset that you've actually been denied. That is a preliminary score. And we're talking about a competitive process here where the number of licenses is in fact limited by that location. Maybe you come in 5 and there's only 4 licenses that'll be granted. And you're very close. There's maybe 30 applicants and you feel, you know, if I appeal, I might be able to gain some additional points and become number 3, as opposed to just remain number 5 and do nothing. That is an option. Keep in mind that as you go through the appeal process, it is time consuming and you will want to have guidance along the way. When you appeal, not only will you be appealing your own score, you open yourself up to other applicants appealing your score as well. So when you file your formal appeal, you could come back with less points or more points or the same. So basically, it's not an assured situation. Your position could go up or down depending upon who appeals. Everybody can appeal, even if you're one of the winning applicants. And in this case, you want to assess your timeline. Usually the location has specified the amount of time it takes to go through the process, but generally speaking, it always takes longer. And that's because the process is, when it's competitive, it has really affected the industry in the sense that litigation then becomes an option and sometimes a reality in a lot of locations where you've been very close to winning an application, but yet you feel maybe the rules were not applied the same across the board, and you're not comfortable that the process was actually applied evenly, objectively, and without individuals making subjective decisions that you have no idea are being made. Applications that were turned in back in January of 2020 are going through their appeal process in many cases, and yet they still can't open up for business. And if you are in a place where it is going to be competitive, you kind of want to build that into your schedule and understand that it is going to take a little longer. as far as your ability to open up and conduct business. It's really a good idea too to attend meetings and get to know people there. Usually serendipity will play a role, but it's always helpful to have somebody in the know for that location. And one thing I would strongly suggest is that when you do your application, that you have the kind of guidance and help that's appropriate so that you can eliminate as many problems as you can that put your application in a position of possibly having to appeal. With the appeals process, one thing to remember, it is litigation in the sense that it is maybe not through the courts, but it is through the locality, and it follows those rules as far as you have a time limit within which you must appeal, and this is how you have to do it, and very, very similar to a court proceeding, and also costly, much like an actual court proceeding is. So when you think of the appeal process, think of the fact that you're actually in an area that is similar to litigation. Then there is the process where if you've exhausted your appeals or you feel you're at the point that it isn't going anywhere, and that is a point where some applicants decide to pursue litigation, and that's also become a little bit more common today than it was previously because things are getting more competitive. There are a lot more players in the field, and there are a lot of people that are coming in here from out of state, and a lot of people in state too that are adding to the competition. One of the most important things to keep in mind is that when you seek help, and I suggest that you do, but you make sure that the help that you're getting is specifically tailored to your need. And in this case, my first suggestion would be start at the application stage. You need an expert who's been through it, who knows how to do it, and it is a process that you don't want to learn on your own for the first time and make your own mistakes. So if you're at the point where you want to apply, or you're at the point where you're deciding whether or not to go through the appeals process, this is what we do here at the Cannabis Legal Group, both at the application process and at the appeal process. It's always better to seek guidance when you reach a point where you're just not sure which direction to turn in. So thanks everyone for watching this video. I'm Patricia Myers with the Cannabis Legal Group.